Hello and greetings to all our friends and companions. Have you ever thought about getting rich? Have you ever thought about what is the secret of getting rich? Or what are the bad habits that make people poor? Today I want to share with you one of the behaviors that will make you stay poor forever. I don't want to talk about being lazy or working hard. This is something that very few people know about, which I define as I will explain to you an interesting and perhaps painful story from Adam. Adam was a person who wanted only one thing from life, and that was to become rich. And this was his wish because of a tragic event that happened to him as a child. Adam grew up in a very poor family with his two sisters, his mother and his grandfather. His grandfather was very close because his father died when he was young. His grandfather did all the things of a father for him, such as advising, training, playing, and he was the most important person in his life. But one day, when Adam came home from school, he realized that his grandfather was having trouble walking. The family decided to take him to the doctor, and after taking pictures, they told him that if he wanted to walk like before, he would undergo joint replacement surgery. Ron needs it, but they couldn't afford it. Over the next 5 years, Adam watched his grandfather sit in a chair, getting older and weaker every day, and finally he died. When Adam was looking at his grandfather's coffin at the funeral, it was when he decided to become rich. Adam said to himself that money solves problems. Money can solve my future problems. Money makes pain go away. He knows the sadness of death and despair, and having money is associated with the happiness of life and happiness. But there was one big problem. Adam didn't know how to get rich. He was just an ordinary guy. So the next day he started learning about business. He started watching video tutorials, reading books, blogs. He tried everything. Who can learn? But they all said the same thing, that it takes years of effort and discipline to build a sustainable business. But Adam didn't want to wait that long. He wanted to make money right away. Eventually, Adam discovered the world of day investing, where he invested his money in high-risk stocks to try his luck at making or losing a lot of money. And the reason for this was that he read stories on the internet about how ordinary people earn tens of thousands of dollars from a business. So he bought some textbooks and immediately started investing. And after a while, Adam really started making money. He bought a stock worth $1,500 and sold it for $1,800. That's $300 in seconds. After 6 months of winnings and losses, he saved about $25,000. One was satisfied with the result, but this kind of low-risk investments did not really make him rich. So he decided to do something risky. One day when Adam was online, he saw a stock that seemed to be growing. At first he decided to invest a normal amount, but then he started fantasizing about how much he could make if he invests all his money. He imagined that he would wake up the next morning and see that the stock price had reached $80,000, or $100,000, or even $200,000. Can you imagine making so much money overnight? It could really change your life. These thoughts, it crossed Adam's mind that when he had invested all his money in one stock, he felt a pressure which he never experienced afterwards. Normal and boring daily. For example, gardening, washing the car, taking his sister to school. But at the end of the day, it was time for him to check his stocks. He turned on his system, entered the stock market, clicked on his stocks, and then he saw something that he will never forget. The stock value had reached $50,000. Which means that Adam had made a profit of $25,000 in one day. The feeling he had at that moment was indescribable. He was really excited and he could feel the adrenaline from his toes to his head. All he had to do was press the sell button, and if he did that, he would get $25,000. But before doing that, He thought, why not do a little research on the stock first? So he started reading a series of online forums that predicted the stock would go even higher. And based on the limited knowledge he had read the books, the chart showed that the stock could still go up. Although the books also said that you should not take too many risks and always quit when you are ahead. But again, Adam began to imagine how much more he could get and how rich he could become, which was his only goal. He just wanted that. So he decided to postpone the sale of the stock and wait until tomorrow. When he woke up the next morning, he quickly turned on his computer, opened the stock market and clicked on stocks. Within 9 hours, his stock had become almost nothing, and it remained unchanged for weeks. In the blink of an eye, it was all gone, and the incident hit him hard because he immediately remembered his grandfather's death and that bitter experience. This story ends in an interesting way, but before telling the end of the story, I want to tell you 2 important things about Adam that you probably didn't pay attention to. Adam is an example of a person who did one good thing and one bad thing. His bad thing is a behavior that makes many people always remain poor, and the good thing he did was to invest in himself. When he had no money, he started watching videos, reading books and consulting people. The bad thing he did was that he was not calm. He was so impatient that he didn't pay attention to whether he liked the job he chose or not. He took too many risks without having enough knowledge. He was greedy and he learned things from books. He was not paying attention and could not have a rational way of thinking. If all you think is to have a lot of money in the shortest time, you don't spend time specializing in something. If gaining expertise and creating great values in the world is the main way to get rich, then if you are not patient, it's time to see the results of your work and invest. All this takes time, so be patient and give yourself a chance to succeed. Let's go back to Adam's story. He never became financially rich, but he started an unusual business. He realized that the main reason for his strong desire for money was the trauma he received from the death of his grandfather, and he thought that money would take away the pain. And this discovery led to a psychological investigation, became interested in coping with death, and then started a business teaching and helping people learn how to cope with the death of their loved ones. Adam never earned $25,000 in one day, but he lived a meaningful life. Remember, to enter any business, you need to have enough expertise and time to gain experience in that topic. Leave us your comments and suggestions in the comments. Right? We are always waiting to hear your good comments. Dear ones, I wish you health and pride. Be victorious and stable. God bless you.